never miss another Johnny Walker LA video again, make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you're always in the loop for the latest Laker news, mock draft, and college top 10. Draft night is a huge night for many of the young men entering the NBA as they discover their new homes in the league. But sometimes the draft isn't an exact science. And every year, we see prospects overachieve their expectations. So in this video, we look right after the draft and predict 5 draft night mistakes that might have teams kicking themselves in the future. And the 5 draft night mistakes in the 2019 NBA draft. With the 5th pick, the Cleveland Cavaliers select Darius Garland from Vanderbilt University. While Darius Garland was considered the best player remaining for the Cavaliers at the 5th pick, this pick might not have been a perfect fit for a team that just drafted a point guard in last year's draft in Colin Sexton. While 2 scoring type guards have worked in the NBA before, such as in Portland with Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, Cleveland's new backcourt will have a lot of obstacles to overcome to reach this level, especially with their defensive concern and Garland's past injury. It will be interesting how the Cavaliers cover this backcourt's weaknesses going further into the future. With the 14th pick in the 2019 NBA draft, the Boston Celtics select Romeo Langford from Indiana University. Normally, the Boston Celtics do a great job at drafting and finding the perfect fit for their team, but this year, not so much, as the Celtics drafted another wing player to add to a crowded backcourt. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and Terry Rozier all had down years statistically, thanks in large part to the return of Kyrie Irving. With Kyrie expected to leave in free agency, their production should increase next year, but will now have to share time with a rookie whose game is nearly identical to his fellow teammates. While Langford has all the tools to be a great scoring guard, he has many flaws as well, including his three-point shooting and defense, flaws that appear in the Celtics' other young wings as well. And unless the Celtics are planning on moving on from the rest of their young wings, it will be difficult to see them all prosper at the same time. Drafting a big man or more fluid three-point shooter would have made more sense here, but the Celtics fell in love with the talent, and we shall see if they ultimately regret that decision. On draft night, many were surprised the Wizards selected Rui Hachimura with the overall pick, but after an excellent junior season at Gonzaga, Rui truly showed that he had talent to be successful at the next level. The Wizards drafting Rui may not necessarily be a draft mistake. The mistake that was made was the draft night player comparison that was provided by ESPN analyst Chauncey Billups, whose player comparison for Rui Hachimura was Kawhi Leonard. The 2-time Finals MVP spent 2 seasons at San Diego State. But if we actually take a look at their game, Leonard was a much stronger defensive prospect who became the youngest Finals MVP at age 22 in his 3rd year in the league, while Rui enters the league at age 21. While who knows how Rui's career might truly pan out, but one thing we know for sure is that this draft night comparison is sure to be one that follows him throughout his career. One of the biggest storylines of the 2019 NBA draft was a drastic slide of the Oregon prospect Bol Bol. Once considered a top 10 prospect in his class, was forced to sit in the green room into the 2nd round of the draft, where he would finally get picked up by the Nuggets at the 44th pick. A foot injury during college raised huge red flags on Bol Bol coming into the draft, and an unusual NBA combine for which Bol Bol weighed in at 208 pounds and was listed at 7% body fat, one of the highest percentages measured of all the prospects in the draft, and a huge difference of his listed weight of 235 pounds during the Oregon basketball season. But putting these red flags aside, if Bol Bol is able to be healthy, his talent level far surpasses 90% of the other prospects in this draft, and if he is able to prove this on the court, could be known as one of the biggest draft mistakes in recent memory. Every year, prospects slip through the cracks and remain undrafted after the draft. But that doesn't mean that their NBA dream is over, as many undrafted players still get a chance to make an NBA team, whether it's through 10-day contract, summer league competition, or the G League. Last year, Alonzo Trier was that undrafted prospect that was able to prove all the doubters wrong and become a part of the select few undrafted players that were able to secure a long-term NBA contract. Signing a 2-year deal with the New York Knicks, proving that he was a draft night mistake. But who will be the next undrafted player that will make a name for himself this year? Will it be LaGuinn's Dort, Naz Reid, Chris Wilk, Shamari Pond, or Taco Fall? Or another hidden prospect that will take the league by storm as an undrafted player? Leave it in the comment section below. But until then, it's been your boy, Johnny Walker LA, and I'm out.